Hello. Hello, guys. It's me, Brian. You keep on interrupting me. Anyways, we did multiple takes right now, but I'm here with my friend Derek right now.
Hello.
If you're watching this, I'm sorry, but this is just a brief example with me and my friends right now.
Yep.
So, anyways,
Hello, I'm Eric.
you know how you're doing.
How are you guys doing today?
Yeah, that's what everyone wants to know, right?
Yeah.
Now, we have to make this quick before my battery runs out, because I think I already know what's going to happen. It's just going to say battery exhausted. So, we're just making a video right now, and we're actually in the bus right now, right?
Yeah. On the bus, we're
So ignore the noises in the background of bumping and rattling.
Let me see where we are real quick.
Eric's just checking out the view in the window of ours. Hey, what do you see out there?
See lots and lots of snow, and pine trees and dead trees.
Eric's a lot quieter than me, so ignore the fact that it may not pick up the audio on this microphone.
Okay. I see lots of dead trees, snow, and pine trees.
Yeah, that's typically what Eric sees. If I had to put on closed captioning, I think that would be a good advisement.
Yeah.
But then I would have to repeat the video over and over again just to get those captions right.
Yeah.
This would be my first captionless video, but I don't know if I want to do that.
Yeah, I'm a bit quieter than Brian.
Yeah, I'm the loud one here, okay?
Yeah.
I'm just naturally just like that. And hey, we had something this morning. Eric decided to listen to how I sounded like back then. I know what Eric's gonna do. Deal with it. Yep, that's what we like doing here.
Brian, did you really have to do that? Come on now.
Of course I had to do it. You were putting on your glasses, so I had to finish it off.
Okay. I also have these that are just randomly in my backpack.
Those are Eric's vintage pencils. He showed me those quite a while ago. So, I guess those are pretty good pencils.
I got a red one and an orange one, and 4 yellows.
Oranges are my favorite color. Not to mention that Eric is close to my second favorite color. Right?
Yeah. It's red?
Of course it's red.
Yeah, I like red.
Yeah. Plus, red's my second favorite color. So I think I made a right choice.
Yep.
Well, it's red nowadays. My favorite... Didn't they tell you that my favorite color used to be red?
Yeah.
Yeah. But now it's orange, since I now like it a lot more. I have habits for changing some of the stuff I like.
That's true. He does that a little. Not that often, but it happens.
Yeah, it tends to happen most of the time. So then I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna stick with that from this point onward. Well, until I get tired of it, right?
Yeah.
Until I either switch back to red or a different color.
Hey Brian, look, there's a McDonald's.
Ooh, McDonald's. Da-da-da-da-da.
Really? What is wrong with you, Brian?
Oh,
Dude, why you do that on camera?
I'm sorry.
Come on now.
Oh, I just make some weird videos when I'm with my friends. We're having fun here, guys. We're having
And
fun.
look, there's a Subway or a type of donair shop over there. I can't really see it, but I think there is.
Yeah, Eric can see things farther than I can with mine.
Yeah, see, there's a Stadium Donair and Pizza just over there.
Oh yeah, there is a Stadium Donair. I don't know if any of my audience have heard these places before, but it's here in Edmonton because that's where we are right
Yeah,
now.
we're right near the valley. There's like a place where it goes downwards.
Yeah, you have to crawl all the way up to get there. Eric, do not do what you did last time, now since you told me that story.
Oh yeah, you know, one time I had no gloves on. I think I slipped off a sled and I had to climb up. Like, ding, 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 ding.
I know.
I was wearing no gloves at the time.
I wish...
So I was crawling up a hill.
Yeah.
I made it up, and my hands were really cold. Oh, hey Brian, do you think I can tell him another story?
I don't know. I kind of feel like I kind of feel like we're about to be done soon.
Okay.
So I'm just going to end it off here.
Goodbye, everybody.
So this is me and that was me and my friends talking about what we typically talk about. What else is new? Anyways, hopefully everybody enjoyed this video. Please leave likes, views, comments, and always subscribe and never miss anything. That's right. Just click the notifications next to the subscribe button if you're already subscribed to my YouTube channel. And Eric, until next time,
Have a good day.
later.